This meeting is being recorded.
Wow. Hey y'all, guess who's back? This is DJ Maya. This is the Mad Chatter Show. And I have with me another amazing guest for you. We have an amazing interview. We have I have my guest DJ with me. DJ, you want to say your name? I like for people to introduce their DJ
Yeah.
names.
It's Don Rogers, but I'm going to go by DJ Pooh Bear. And if you check out the other episodes, it explains why. Because one day my drunk ass got stuck in a tent and I looked like Winnie the Pooh. And my girl's been calling me Pooh Bear ever since. So we're just going to roll with DJ Pooh Bear because Dick Sneed doesn't own the trademark no more.
Okay. Well, from now on, we'll just make sure we just say DJ Pooh Bear. We won't have to tell that story anymore. We won't embarrass you every time, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just might have to make that zipper tent sound for you. Zip. All right. Well, we have an amazing guest with us for our interview today. Um, I've talked about this beautiful sister before, having her on the show, and finally we got her on. And so Dawn reached out and got a beautiful friend of mine. Dawn, you want to say who your guest is today, since you helped
Her
me?
name is Andrea Ellis, and she's an intuitive and tarot reader, but I'm pretty sure she'd probably explain it a lot better herself. But she's incredibly gifted and incredibly intelligent, so
She's
Oh, well,
definitely
thank you.
gifted. Uh, my number one favorite psychic to go to if you have any questions or if you need some insight or if you need some healing. She's my favorite. So yes, well, welcome and thank you for joining us to the show, Drea. Love you.
Well,
Welcome.
thank you for having me. Love you too. Love you guys. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I think it's pretty cool. This is my first time here, so I'm
Yes.
always kind of like, no, I don't want to say I'm necessarily nervous, but
But you're
y'all are my
nervous.
friends, so I'm
Well,
always nervous when I'm having to communicate my feelings, but I'm moving through that. I'm healing on that.
beautiful, beautiful. Well, it's nice to have you. I know that I've been waiting to share you with my listeners. So, would you like to start off by introducing what you do now and then maybe how you got into it? And that way people can start looking for you as you're talking.
So my name is Candria. You guys can call me Drea. I have different names: Ellis Intuitive Healing, Drea Knows. I have a personal page on Facebook. If you'd like to follow me, sometimes I talk about some interesting things there. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. So I consider myself to be a psychic medium. I'm gifted in different forms of like divination, like tarot and cartomancy, and I can read pennies, clouds, dirt, sticks. I've been gifted with that pretty much my entire life, but I didn't really think of myself as unique or different. I was raised in the church, so my grandmother, very much so, is where I got it from. My great grandmother is even more powerfully gifted and able to see in that way. I just considered how it was to be like a normal thing, like everybody else was like me, and I didn't realize the gift that I had until I was about 28 years old. I always worked like regular jobs. I'm a mom. I had three children at three children at the time, and I had lost pretty much everything that I had. And through that experience of like homelessness and staying in hotel rooms and stuff like that, I started to get more stronger in my intuitive ability. And to pay for my room, I would do tarot readings or cartomancy readings. A playing deck was $1 at the Family Dollar, so I went over there and got me some cards, and I started reading people. And then with that, me diligently trying to utilize my gift to take care of my children, my ancestors started to present themselves, and I started to be able to see like energies and spirits and so on and so forth. So I call my grandma and I go, I said, Nana, I said, I just seen great grandma and she telling me to do all this stuff and I know things. And I was like, I can see stuff in the middle of my head. What is that? And she's like, oh, she said, oh, praise God. You know, the Lord blessed you. He finally did it for you. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I guess it runs in my family deeper than my Nana and my great grandma, but it's just not something that we really discussed because it was just like a normal thing. But as I continued to read and my gifts started to open up, I started to do other things like, besides for spirit communication, because I was kind of afraid of that, to be honest. I started doing energy healing and what we would call it in the church is like laying of hands. And I consider myself to be like a medicine lady or like a root worker. So I know how to utilize plants to help people. And I also know how to utilize like prayer and scripture to help people as well. You know what I'm saying? So that is a whole of what my practice is now. Listen to my ancestors and doing what it is that I was guided to do really has blessed me, and it's made me much stronger in my gifts also. So here I am now. Talking to you guys. And it's funny because I didn't want anybody to see my face for years. I didn't want anybody to know who I was.
Really?
I wanted to hide it, but I don't think that's my purpose, to hide what I'm capable of doing in this lifetime.
You've actually helped me through a lot of weird moments in my current awakening because I don't know how much you know about me, but I just started to click into all of this in like September. And I've had a couple of readings done by it. And I actually contacted you on Instagram the one day because it scared the crap out of me when I channeled my partner's deceased father. And I was like, bro, what the hell just happened? Is this normal? And you're the one who walked me through it. Like, look, don't freak out. You're not crazy. This is going to happen because you allowed it to, but you got to get this, and this in line. And I was like, okay, thank you. I was shitting.
Yes. I'm just a vessel. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I was able to help you, but I'm literally just a vessel for the energy that's walking around you. I don't take any what's the word for it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not me, you know. Yes, I don't take any credit for being able to do a lot of this stuff. It's just I feel like I was blessed with it because of the sincerity of heart that I have, you know. So that's the goal, is to get everyone else to kind of like recognize what they're capable of doing and raise the consciousness of the collective, you know what I'm saying, and heal on them, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you're having these experiences. You're going to be a yogi.
Out of my farm.
We're all
yes, definitely. We're going to come seeking guidance on your farm.
The guidance farm counselor.
That's a really good environment anyways, nature. Plants are just healing anyways. You know what I'm saying? Plants, growing things, setting the intention of growing things. Like even I learned that people can like mix their DNA with plants. I know this might sound kind of gross, but some people spit in their plants. And I was like, why would somebody do something like that? And it's to merge their DNA with the plant so the plant can heal them. You know what I'm saying? Like trees. Even if you don't do that, tree can heal you. Laying your hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we need to heal ourselves it's here. You know what I'm saying? We just have to access it, grow it, take care of it, and take care of ourselves utilizing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What are some of the things that you've been able to help people with as far as healing wise?
Oh, man, my goal really is like, there's nobody I talk to that's not exactly like me. So even if they're not doing what I'm doing, like reading cards, or even if they're not necessarily doing spirit communication, there's nobody I'm talking to that can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a choice that they make. I just kind of help people to awaken those aspects of themselves so they can make good choices in their life. You know what I'm saying? I've helped families. I've helped people with financial issues. I've helped people that have been sick. I have a client that was in bed on a pacemaker, and now she's up and able to take care of herself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and it's not me, it's just allowing me to be a vessel because I guess I'm pretty cool or whatever. Just allowing me to be a vessel for people to listen.
Have you ever looked at little babies and connected with them telepathically?
Yes. It's easier to communicate with children, babies like that, non-verbally, and it's also easier to communicate with autistic children that are nonverbal in that way too. I have a daughter that's 7 years old. She's nonverbal. We do a lot more communication like this than
I
we
was
do
actually
with words. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she needs to say anything. Like she feels like she's saying enough.
no, I actually heard you mention that on Typical Skeptic the one time, and I was like, oh, I wonder if her and her daughter connect like that. And it's really cool that you
Mhm.
brought that up because it was something I was like always wanting to ask, but it's kind of that awkward question: do you ask the person or not? And I'm so that is so awesome that you guys can communicate like that.
Right?
You're always doing it. You're doing it with your pets. You're doing it with your friends, your coworkers. Sometimes I'll be sitting in the room and my son will say, "Did you call my name?" And I'll say, "No, but I did. I just want to know what you were doing."
Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? It's easier, honestly, to
I know
communicate in
we
that
have
way.
a telepathic connection because a lot of times I'll just start talking to you in my mind and eventually you'll get the message. You'll either message me or call me. And I'm like, oh, she got it. I like to do that. I like to send out the telepathic message and see how long it takes to get to a person.
It's easier. It's more comfortable to communicate in that way. In like energies or like different from African traditional religions, sometimes their frequency is so high they just speak telepathically. They don't say words when they come down. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's I feel like that was the original communication that we had. We just decided we were going to create some languages
That's so
just for fun.
fun. So, do you connect with animal? You said animals too. Do you connect with?
Yes, I can I can connect with animals. I can connect with children. Animals, I feel animals a lot deeper than human beings. I haven't really gotten an understanding of why. Like I can feel your cat's heartbeat right now.
Yeah,
Why? I don't
just
know.
for you.
I'm very close to cats
The Sour
specifically.
Patch Jack.
They also represent like they're like really healing animals too, cats.
Oh yeah,
They're
little.
emotionally healing. Yes, emotionally healing, highly telepathic, and they also represent like abundance and fertility and protection and things like that. I usually see cats or kittens if like there's a baby coming or someone is pregnant. I always see cats. I'll see them in my dreams. You'll notice more like the southern kind of like black southern grandmas, they'll say they see fish. Sometimes you'll see fish, but I see cats.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, so when you see your grandma, she go, "I was dreaming about some catfish last night." Say
Uh,
what now? No, you wasn't dreaming about no catfish last. Yes, I was. Somebody having a baby, catfish or dolphins. Dolphins. I
so,
don't know what it is about fish.
so, I know that you do the cartomancy. Do you do like tarot readings for people too? Is that like something that you
Yes. When I do like a book service with somebody, I I have tarot available and I have playing cards available, but I feel like after some time, I don't feel like I necessarily need them. Like someone can request that if they like, but I tend
Mhm.
to already know. I feel like the tarot and the cartomancy. Well, cartomancy is like rooted kind of like in my history. You know what I'm saying? So my ancestors would be more inclined to use playing cards or like pennies or something like that. If I'm like sitting at my altar or something like that, I want to use playing cards a lot of the time. I carry playing cards with me all the time. Actually, I carry playing cards in my purse.
Was
Yeah,
gonna say,
but I like to
uh,
divine using those things, but
I was gonna say, what type of spiritual tools do you
what'd you
use?
say now?
I was going to say, what type of spiritual tools do you use?
I'll show you one. Water. Water. Water is a conduit for like the spirit, you know what I'm saying? And then also I'll use a candle. I don't
And get
always have to use these, but these are my main tools, and a Bible. Okay. If I have those three things, I'm good to go. I don't use a I use I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I love stones. I consider myself to be a crystal baby. My daughter is a crystal baby. I love stones.
mm-hmm.
I have my favorites, like your clear quartz, things that you can kind of like program, or like your amethyst and, your black tourmaline, because those are like staples. You kind of want to have those. But in my practice, because I'm really just kind of communicating with my family members that have passed away, I don't really use much of anything. Now, sometimes they might suggest something, or they might suggest a herb or something like that, but I keep it very like simple. Since over the years, because y'all, boxes of stuff, okay? Boxes of things. I had clients not want their stuff anymore, send it to me, bring it past the house. And I'm like, I don't need any of this stuff. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But some light, some water, and some scripture. That's pretty much all I need to be able to get done what I need to get done. And it makes me feel comfortable, anyways, to have. So
Just
let me see. Do I have it with me right now? Yeah, I got me the worldly. She got the pink Holy Bible. Okay. I carry it around all the time. If I'm not carrying it around, it's sitting up on my altar space. And I like to say a scripture before, like, I talk to anybody, or if I want to cleanse myself, or if I just need some clarity in my own life, I'll read a Psalms or something like that.
Nice.
just
Don,
just the for dummies version of programming a crystal. Is that basically just like holding it and putting your intention into it, or what? Like what? I'm new to all of this.
Well, Maya knows stones are alive, okay? Everything that comes from this earth is alive. That's why I work with roots a lot. You know what I'm saying? Those plants, those trees and stuff like that, they're living. I'm outside right now. I'm a porch. There's a lot of trees around me. I done poured water at these trees, spoken to these trees. So doing that, these trees communicate with me also on a telepathic level, and they also give me the things that I need without me even having to like come out here and say anything. You know what I'm saying? Stones, they come from the earth. And so because they come from the earth, is something that we need, and it's something that we can talk to and breathe life into. It's living. You know what I'm saying? People usually say you want to program like a quartz, but the quartz, it tends to magnify everything. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you can really program any crystal. You just got to talk to it. And some of them resonate with us, some of them don't. Like some people can't stand moldavite, it makes them sick. I used to have a friend that he couldn't have moldavite at all. It would make his teeth hurt. That's how powerful that energy was. He couldn't handle it. Yeah. So he gave it back to the earth. He went and buried it.
He buried it, got rid
He
of
couldn't
it.
handle it. But crystals, yeah, programming. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell
He
you what
buried
they
it and gave it back to the earth. He said he couldn't do it. Mm-hmm.
when I first had asked what crystal should I use for like cleansing and clarity, they told me clear quartz. And then they said rose quartz for to keep my vibrations at a low frequency because I was dealing with a lot of anger. So I had to bring in that
Mm-hmm.
frequency. But every crystal is programmable. And what you do is you use your intention. So you have to think of a crystal as a person. when you get it, you got to give it a bath. You got to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
But you cleanse it. You can cleanse it with smoke. You can cleanse it with
Mm-hmm.
your breath. You can cleanse it with the sunlight. You can charge it with the sunlight and cleanse it with the sunlight. The moonlight, you can charge your crystals. You want to put
Oh
the
man, I
back in.
had some granulated moonstone one time. Some
Mhm.
granulated moonstone. It was ground up into a powder. Man, I sprinkled that around my house. It was during a full moon, so I had like granulated moonstone all around the house. My intuition went through the roof for like 4 weeks. I wasn't able to make it stop
Right?
because I was charging the stones. You know what I'm saying? Even though they were like minuscule. You know what I'm saying? I also wore one around my neck. I love rainbow moonstone.
Mm.
I just kind of made a connection with both of you here because after my first hypnosis with Maya, you were on Rob's show like the next day or the day after, and I had unlocked a bunch of stuff in my higher self, and I asked you if it was okay to use that, and that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
what got me where I am now because it's like, okay, I'm allowed to explore this. I ended up quitting the best paying 3D job I ever had and just going with what my heart was singing about. And that was
Mm-hmm.
literally because of you two. And cannot thank either of you enough. Like, gave me the confidence to just run with it. It's like I started this in high school, but I dropped out of it. I left it. I didn't bother with media arts no more. I was like, yeah, that's back burner. I had kids, I got jobs, and then forgot all about it. But you two brought it back out, and thank you.
We're like the Avengers. We're like
Okay.
we're like the spiritual Avengers. We're like fighting crime every day, you know what I'm saying? Like cuz we want everybody to be able to see, you know?
Mhm.
It's necessary to be able to see and being able to ground that into the reality that we have now so we can have like a really good quality of life, you know? So,
Did you have to lose
and
a
it
lot of
takes a community.
it does. It
Oh, I'm
does.
listening.
Did you have to lose a lot of friends and stuff when you started your spiritual journey? Did you
Don't
realize
nobody I
people
used
were
to chill with.
vampires, anything like that?
Oh man. That's like stage one, I feel, of spirituality is vampires, understanding where vampirism comes from. You could be watching TV, okay, watching the news, and they'll be sucking on your energy. It's crazy because people don't understand where their life force comes from. You know what I'm saying? So they always try to seek it somewhere else. That's why you'll see, and there's all sorts of different kinds. Oh man, you're gonna have to invite me back on here just talk about
Of
vampires.
course,
Like
girl.
that one could
I
be like that could be like 2 freaking hours. Vampires are everywhere. Okay. I don't have any of the friends. I think maybe one. I'm really sitting here trying to think.
I don't have.
One or two friends.
I got rid of everybody.
But they were already in my frequency. They was already where I was going. You know what I'm saying? And I was just kind of like on that path. You know what I'm saying? So they stuck around. They was like, girl, I always knew you was different. They were the ones that don't ask questions. Don't ask too much of me. Don't try to go over the boundaries that I
Yeah.
set with them. Ask me if I'm okay. Ask me if I need something. Um, I'll say, hey, can I borrow $20? I'll pay you back. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay it back. Like those kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? And out of the hundreds, thousands of people that I've spoken to since I've had my understanding of what's going on, two, literally. And I had to meet more like Maya and you. I had to meet more, that were in that frequency because it's like people just don't understand how to connect with their own like life force or source or their higher self. So they don't have any energy. Like it's like their chi is just there and they're not tapping into it. It's why people covet your gifts and, you know,
Yeah.
watch you or like watch obsessively over you because they want to be like you and stuff like that because they don't understand that they have their own like vibe. They don't understand that they have their own energy. You know what I'm saying? I try to teach people that too. You know, I had a little experience with people that come to me for help that were like really codependent. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the goal. You know, the goal is for people to be able to heal on themselves. And then sometimes you got people that vamp, they don't even realize that they're doing it. They don't.
Yeah.
They're just
Right.
used to being like that all the time. They were like that with their mom and their dad and their siblings and their relationships with their friends, with their school teachers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it shows up so many different ways, man. I've literally been pulled on in conversation. I had to leave someone's house one night because I got dizzy because they were
No.
asking me so many questions. Yes, I wasn't even answering them. They were just pulling literally like on the crown area. You know what I'm saying? And I don't talk to them anymore because I can't, because they're vampiric. Yeah, so to answer that, I done lost a ton of people. A lot of people pull on energy. Lots of folks.
Have you ever had like in on a show like or whatever had anybody try to clown you about your abilities, like making fun or oh this isn't real, that kind of crap? Like,
Yeah, but I just, God is able, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just so blessed that,
yeah,
he would allow me to be this powerful in this lifetime to be able to help people like this. So I'll be like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or they say that like
yeah,
I'm demonic or something, you know what I mean? Like, because I can see, I was born like that. You know what I mean? I also don't
yeah.
want people to be ashamed of like what they are. I can't help that I was born like this. I remember I got sick with pneumonia when I was like 9 or 10, like super ill. I used to get sick a lot. And I seen a little girl walk up out of her body that was laying in the bed next to me in the room. She had passed away. She left her
Oh,
body. I watched her do it because I was so sick. I could see it, and I was like, am I tripping? All the doctors and nurses came in there and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of my path. I'm supposed to be seeing things like that. You know what I'm saying? But people clown me at least once a week. Some come into my lives. If I do TikTok lives, I don't really do TikTok lives that often anymore, but sometimes they'll come in there and they'll try to say stuff. And then they'll
yeah.
end up stuck or wanting to come back, actually, because they'll be like, oh, she can see for real. So, you know.
What?
It,
That's crazy.
it used to upset me. It don't upset me anymore. Like, I just know, I also know some people just not supposed to know certain things in this lifetime because you got old souls, and then you got baby souls. You know what I'm saying? Baby souls, like, because we all cycle up and out. At least that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? In the book of life, we all cycle in and out. We choose like what timeline we want to work on, or what we're working on in this lifetime. I guess this lifetime, I'm supposed to be honing my skills and helping other people hone their skills so they can like move through the phases of what's going to happen to them, not just now, but like in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to navigate those things, that really affects spirit communication too as well.
I have an idea that just popped in my head. What do you
Yeah.
say? What do you think about doing like a future prediction for 2024? Have you done that yet?
A little
Do you
bit last night, but
predictions
no, I
at
didn't
all?
really go into it. Like,
You should have you started doing
do I
predictions?
do predictions?
People love that. They love prediction. They're like, oh my
I
God, was she right? She
do
said
like
that.
I've only done it personal. I personal like one type of thing. Just nobody has ever asked. You know what I'm saying? Or it's only focused on like my personal thing. But if somebody asks, um, well, I'll kind of go like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like 2024 is about healing or coming together, like having a better structure. You know what I'm saying? So this is like people totally doing like a complete 180, you know, different.
What about replay? Connection's breaking up, girl. Archangel Zachiel, surround our connection so it's nice and clear. Yeah, your connection's a little choppy. Yeah, you did say that 2024 people were going to be like healing themselves and stepping it up. Okay.
All the time.
I don't know. Your connection is a little choppy. I'm not sure. Can you hear that on your end at all?
They don't like the truth.
They don't.
No, they're
But,
chopping up. Yeah.
Just give the lines a second to clear. Dawn, did you have any questions for her?
I was actually going to say, like, you know, just generally what she was getting into there about what's to come in this year. I know she had touched on it last night on the show I saw her on, but I felt like it's so hard to get everything into an hour. Sometimes it feels like you don't get everything.
Right. And yeah, what do you think about for you as far as 2024? I mean, you're doing the show with Rob, Typical Skeptic Podcast. How does that
Hour.
love? Your connection is choppy. They're trying to come in with the.
I enjoy that. I like they kind of me in some. They mean there's sometimes.
I don't know if you can hear me, Kendra, but you're
on there.
I can't hear you. See if you can like mute it and unmute it.
Can you hear me now?
Might have to come back in. See if you leave and come back in, it'll clear the connection. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if she can come back, maybe just get her to do a quick general reading for you because
Can you hear me now?
A little bit. It's a little choppy. Let me hear you again. Yeah, it's still got that little choppy. Maybe if you leave and come back
How
in.
about now?
Same. Try leaving and coming back in the room. See if that helps.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and come back in.
Yeah, leave and come. I'll be right here. We'll be. Yeah, technology. You know, that's how it goes.
Well, if I had my tinfoil hat on, I'm pretty sure I'd tell you that they did that on purpose because she was about to drop some knowledge on everybody, and of course they have to interfere. Oh wait, I have tinfoil hat. There we go. How about that?
That's
I already
funny.
said the person because they just screwed us over out of hearing what's coming.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of already said it a little bit with but I would like to, I don't know, as far as like politics.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe we can get her prediction presidential election. Hello. Welcome back. Well, we've been going a good half hour. That's good. There you are. How's that? You're muted. Unmute your mic, love. You're muted. There you go. Hello. Hello, love.
I make the fun faces.
Say that again.
Hello. My
Oh,
Keep talking for a moment. It's like I thought I heard something and then it disappeared. I don't know if you stopped talking.
yeah.
area, so
Oh, you're in a bad area.
Yeah.
it's generally anyway.
Well, we did get a half hour of chat. We might have to have you call back for the half hour live if we can't get the audio. You're usually up at midnight, aren't you, on a Friday night? Aren't you usually up at midnight on a Friday?
Oh dear.
I wonder
During
what
the
happened.
week with kids.
Yo, the audio just like killed.
Let's try. I know what I'm.
Audio interference. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh, here we go.
Gotta love working live.
Hey, that's technology.
Better?
Yeah.
Yes. Much
Hey,
cooler.
hey, beautiful. Look at your beautiful face. Now I can see you. Hello. I'm awake now.
I'm like, I'm way because I'm gonna find a way, but I am in like a pretty active area on my porch. So my porch is just active, or like if I light a candle or if I take some water out or just start talking about what I do, it get active here. So yes, ma'am.
Oh, we gotta keep it shallow for a little bit. Keep
Yes.
everybody calm. Calm down, buddy. We just
My
talking.
computer, my computer couldn't handle it. Like that was enough.
Yeah.
For me too. So yeah, we're gonna stick with the iPhone.
Yeah. So let's see. So I want you to share a little bit more about like who you are with everybody and like what you do. Like what do you want our listeners to know about you and like what you do for people and like how much you put into it or whatever, because your gifts are real. And I know I know because since I've been coming to you, like I you know I try not to overdo it. So like when I really need like some confirmation, I'd be like, I know. I go to you.
That's good. You have reader etiquette. That's what we like to call it. You
Have
don't want
what?
to reader etiquette. You don't want to continuously ask spirit the same question over and over again because it can like irritate the energy. You know what I'm saying? Agitate your situation or just make you more confused about it. So yeah, you be doing the right thing.
Yep,
You
because I remember I came to you and then asking you about my sister and you gave me all this information. And then it was like a year later, I came back and asked you, and you were like, you've come to me before with this question. And I was just like, whoa, how do you remember me? Like you remembered that energy and you remembered. And it was kind of funny because you were like, I've already told you, and I started laughing and I was like, shoot, she knows I'm asking again because I was thinking like, do I ask again? But I was
you
just
know
trying to like catch up and find out like what was
conscious
the deal with her, like where's she at now?
I consciously retain anything that I tell you guys because I don't think I feel like when you ask me questions, it's supposed to be personal and like that information is just for you to do whatever it is that you need to do, like it's supposed to be private and I'm not supposed to go and discuss it with somebody else. Like I feel like it's a whole bunch of reasons why I don't remember, but my memory comes back because spirit give it to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't I don't hold on to it. I don't hold on to names or faces. I don't think my brain is physically big enough to hold on to all that information. So I'll click out. I'll talk for like an hour, I'll read for like an hour, and I just won't retain any memory. But I was my life, I'm just a girl from the South. I'm just from Florida. That's all. I was raised in a church, hardcore devout Christian, okay? And I love my mama. Daddy. Um I like to cook. I like to make gravy. I haven't made no biscuits by hand, but I plan on conquering that this
Ooh.
week actually. I want to make some biscuits and gravy. Um
Spoon's got a recipe.
yep. What'd you say?
Spoon's
Oh,
got a recipe.
she's got a recipe? Okay,
Yeah.
I definitely that because I want to make some. I want to make some by hand and I want to make some gravy. I know how to whip up a little gravy with some butter, but I'm I just want to let people know that I'm just like you. I'm just like you all. I was tripping like, is what I'm seeing real? Is this real? I remember I was going and seeking other people that I had sight like mine, and I was learning about the Krishnas, and I was learning about Nityananda, and people that literally can spit coal from their mouth and see with their eyes covered and stuff like that. Like I went seeking to try and find other people, but God is in every place, you know what I'm saying? And shows up in all sorts of different kinds of ways. And all that happened to me was I went through something traumatic and lost a lot of material things. And I was able to regain all that back. But that allowed me to like have several seats and try to get a better understanding of what my soul was, like literally who I was and why I was here and, all those things. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm a mom, and I'm gonna be a new mom again soon. So thank
Wow.
you. I
Yeesh.
love
Future. Say
so
that.
I feel
I
like
got
I feel like I was just
Congratulations.
you. I feel like I was really blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just blessed to be able to see certain things so I could share that with other people. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like just like anybody else, I was utilized as a ray of light. You know what I'm saying? Like all of us are, because even if you don't realize it, you're speaking into somebody's spirit continuously. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're talking to like your coworker or somebody that
yeah,
walks down the street, you say, "Hey, you look really nice today." You know what I'm saying? Like you're
yeah.
always kind of speaking into somebody's spirit. We're all a channel. You know what I mean? I'm just a regular person. I'm just a mom. So
I gotta grab your take because we were talking about babies. What
yeah.
do you think about this new batch of babies that's coming in? I got a buddy whose daughter just had a kid. This child is less than a year old, looks like it's 3, running around the house. It's insane how developed these babies are. Like this child came into the world like I got something to teach you all. Watch this, and like just bright eyed and aware. These kids are blowing my mind. I just wanted your take on that.
I feel
Well,
like
I can
the way
tell
that
you
it's
what's that
2020. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we'll be used to with a newborn is not what we should be used to right now in 2024. Like that's just my personal perspective. I feel
Yeah,
like it's like that spiritual level. Also, that's a whole nother show. The uh what the hormones that are inside of like the milk and the
yeah,
food and the vaccines. I could go on and on. You know what I'm saying? So how we would expect a child to develop developmentally or just physically develop 10 years ago, not
yeah.
now. My son is my size. He's not even 14. I can wear his clothes.
I can tell you what they told me. The babies that were born, I think it was it 2010? Like around 2010 on up, these souls are new souls. These souls are souls, but I don't know. Are they really new souls or are they just souls with no karma? Because since the spiritual war has won and the 3 waves are here to come and do the work, the other babies that come through, they don't have karma, so they're high vibrational souls. They're here just to raise the frequency of the planet. They're here. Their bodies being here just alone help raise the vibrations of the planet. And I was like, well, I could see that because my daughter, when I manifested my daughter we did our sacred ritual. I wanted a burst of sunlight for a child. And let me tell you, this girl can be a burst of sunlight or she could be a rainy day. And she is too much, and she is like the light in everybody's lives. Like when I go to school, her preschool, all the kids, like there's always like 4 kids that parents are like, oh my God, my kid will not come to school unless they know Aaliyah is coming today.
Aww.
Like they will be like, oh my God, it's so thank God that Aaliyah is here because my child would have had a meltdown for the whole day, and it's just so cute. Like they love her. Everybody loves her. She's got adult friends that request to have like lunch dates with her. Like she's got two lesbians, beautiful young, sisters. And they're like, Aaliyah, she's so funny. She's just like, she's just like, she loves them though. She loves them and she hangs out with them and she gets so excited and they play with her and they talk to her and she is a smart little girl. So yes, these souls and are high vibrational souls, and the autistic kids are special star seeds as well. They're here to teach the parents a real lesson in patience and understanding, let me tell you.
Gonna say that absolutely because that's what mine does.
Okay.
That's what mine does. You triggered me a little bit when you were talking about like these new babies. When I closed my eyes, I could see like an angel with like wings of fire. So I'm feeling like a lot of these children are like, I believe very much in soul fragments, literally bits and pieces or being different aspects of things. That's why if people go into like hypnosis or they go into like meditative states, they'll see their past life and they'll be the same person. Like multiple people will say that they're Cleopatra or King Solomon or George Washington or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like different fragments. But I'm feeling like the children that are coming now are supposed to like help us on a different level than the last group. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the last group was more about like strength and self-awareness and like pure sight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this next group is about like kind of cleaning things up. That's why I feel like I saw the angel with wings, or literally fragments of the spirits and souls of angels that have been here for I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? So I was actually watching another lady talk about talking about like different beings that were talked about in the Bible, like people that were half angel, half human and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think those things just like stop existing. You know what I mean? Because we've moved along in the scripture, those things don't just stop existing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're coming like rebirthing themselves through babies, you know?
Yeah. An aspect of my higher self is Gabriel.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
I was just telling her how you found the aspect of my higher self that is Gabriel.
Yo, when I connected with his higher self, it was Archangel Gabriel. I was like, Archangel Gabriel. Look what you look at you over here hiding out in Don's body.
It's a trip.
You look at you over here hiding out. You never know who. My higher self is connected to Archangel Michael. Yeah. So that's why I'm always so like fierce and so ready to be gun-ho about crazy shit. Because I'm sure Archangel Michael's like, let's go.
I'm sure I'm close to the both of you because I call on them all the time.
Yeah,
like daily.
The Archangel Jophiel energy.
What'd you say now?
Connected with Archangel Jophiel?
No. No, I never.
Archangel Michael's protector, twin flame. She's his ride or die. She's always with him.
Jophiel.
Mm-hmm. She is. Archangel Jophiel is so. when Mother created Father from her womb, Father Christ, Father Crystal, when she created him, together they created the daughter of the flame, which that they're the flame, so the daughter of the flame. They created the phoenix. And so the phoenix is a bird dragon and fire dragon element. And then she created the four horsemen, which are the four half they're half centaur and half human. So half Elohim and half human. They were trying to figure out what kind of human to make. And they wanted something to be fast, so they took the body of a unicorn. The unicorns guard the rainbow bridge, which is where they take souls from one dimension to the next. And so the unicorns are very powerful as well. And so they created the four horsemen in the stories they tell us, but it's really the four centaurs. And I think I've sent that to you. And that's number 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first two are sisters. The first one is Archangel Aurora. The second one is Archangel Jophiel, which is you, I think. And then you have 3 and 4, Archangel Uriel and Archangel 4. Archangel 4 turned out to be Archangel Michael and Archangel Heliel, which later, they just keep splitting off. And then I forget which one Gabriel came from. I don't know which line, because it started with the 4 of them, and then from there it came to all the other archangels.
Every time I talk to you, you remind me that all these energies had like an existence. You know what I'm saying? They exist. So it means that they have relationships and connections, and they have stories and experiences and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of the time, like in my practice, sometimes those energies can become like super one-dimensional because we're always asking them for one thing in particular. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually asking for some sort of protection, because I'm always communicating with something. So I'm wanting like a barrier around me all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll say, when I'm done like healing on somebody, I'll say, thank you, Archangel Michael, cut down anything negative or lower level that may have tried to attach to me or the person that I'm trying to help or what have you. You know what I'm saying? You always remind me this is like an actual being that has a story, that has other beings that are connected to them in this story, specifically the unicorns.
Yeah.
She melts my mind.
I talked to the unicorns. I've talked to unicorns that were griffin hybrids. And they were like, it's been eons since we've talked to humans. And then I gave them some love advice. And they were like, I think it's fascinating that you find an interest in our relations or our love. And I was like, well, why not? I can help you. Let me help you out. Because it was a griffin. It was a girl. She liked this griffin, and she was like, I don't think my brothers will allow it. I'm like, who cares what your brothers think? That's your love. That's you love with who you want to love. And then she was like, well, I was like, talk to your brothers. And then so I talked to them with them, and I was like, what do you think about him? They're like, he's all right. I'm like, cut her some slack. She likes the guy. I said, plus your dad's a griffin, so what's the problem? Because they were hybrids. And I was like, oh, you got something against griffins? Because they were griffin unicorn.
I can think of like, or the ego of like, I don't want her to do that. I can feel that.
Active. It was funny. And they were like, I got their colors and everything. I'm hoping to save that audio. I gotta find it. It's a long story, but I'm hoping to save that audio. There's some information there that they say that I can't share. So I'm like, you guys got to narrow it down. You can't be giving me all this information and then finally say, yeah, but you decide. You'll know what to share, what not to share. No, don't tell me that. I'm gonna share it all. Like,
I don't like. People would come to me and ask me like how I did certain things, right? Or they'd be like, how did you do this? Or how did you manifest this? Or how do you do it? Or, if you ever seen WandaVision, Agatha, the old witch, she's like, you're able to make everybody think that they're in another reality. She's like, how do you do that? She's like, I had to practice doing this and that for a long time. The thing about those energies or those spirits or those old beings and stuff like that, they have a lot of knowledge that I feel like people don't know what to do with. You know what I'm saying? They really don't understand it. They don't know how to apply it to their life. They don't understand how it connects to like the greater scheme of things. And usually when you're trying to do something or create something, like how I say in my Bible and my wall, that's enough for me. There's certain secrets there that my ancestors gave me. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is like, I guess it depends on who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? But my ancestors gave me very specific secrets. And those things I don't necessarily tell people because I guess to be able to connect with their own energies. Because, like, you know, Gabriel might want to talk to you. You know, Gabriel might not necessarily want to talk to me for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But whoever talk to me has certain secrets just for me. So I know who you've communicated with has certain secrets just for you. I do feel like it's still on the earth. A lot of those things that they tell us, you know what I'm saying? But like, unless they're put into action by like larger groups of people, you know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like, you know what I'm saying? I do try to like share some of those things, but like some of the people that I tried to share some of my secrets with, this was like years ago, they kind of turned on me. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the value of what it is that they were learning. You get what I'm saying? And it cut them their own vessel of information. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I get a lot of secrets. And I used to, man, if you scroll back at my Facebook, it's just gems, like how to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? How to work with trees, how to da 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 da. And as I got older, I less and less and less and less.
I got to share something with you, Kendra. It's something I overheard at the mall a couple of weeks ago, and it just blessed my very soul. I was sitting in the food court. I had an hour to kill before I had to pick up Spinja. And so I'm having a quick sandwich and a coffee. And there's a group of little girls. There's like 5 or 6 of them with 2 different moms. And they're talking and they're back and forth. And the first girl goes, I'm 8. That means I'm infinite. And I'm like, damn, you're a smart cookie. So I start listening. The girl beside her goes, I might only be 7, but I'm spirit. I've been here forever. And I was like, you're damn right you are, little girl. I wanted to jump up and say that, but I was just like, okay, you're a weird dude with beard and mall. Just don't say anything. Just smile and sit there. But it was like one of the best damn things I ever heard in my life. And it come out of the mouth of 2 kids not even 10 years old.
Wow.
They know more. They know way more.
Yeah.
They have secrets that they're not going to remember. And I didn't experience seeing some things as a child, like I'm not going to remember. You know what I'm saying? Like there's got to be a certain level of like purity. Also, I'm going all the way back in this live when I was still on the computer. You sent some energy, okay? The computer started like, jacking up or whatever. You was sending some energy. I could feel that. I could feel that. Okay. It was very pure and very beautiful. Okay. And I was like, I hope it feels like that when I do it.
Oh, really?
Every time you read for us, you hit us right here. It's just like, yeah, she feels us. Like when you were talking yesterday, I'd have sworn you were sitting at the end of the bed just having a chat with us, like you were in the damn room. It wasn't a phone screen no more.
I tend to like leave. I don't try to, okay? Because I used to do that time where I would just leave. But when I was getting my certification for Reiki, she was teaching us that it's important to call on your higher power before you start working on people. And she was like, pray like how you always have, like when you're growing up. So I'll say in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, open myself up to Reiki healing energy at this time. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just start talking. And instead of like moving the hands or like looking or like directing the energy with the eyes, I just talk. You know what I'm saying? And my master teacher, her whole face turned red. She was like, ooh. She was like, what are you doing? It's just, I don't know if it's my throat chakra or what. It's just when I speak. I feel like when I speak or when I'm praying or whatever, I have like authority there. You know what I'm saying? But I do leave. I'm trying to make a point. You know, if I'm reading you, I'm trying to like make a point. I used to pop up in my clients' homes. I don't do okay. I used to literally pop up in their house. They would be in the kitchen, and if I would go to sleep or something like that, they would see me standing in the living room. Or yeah, so this was years ago. I done got some like get right about me, you know what I'm saying? Like I done learned how to keep myself together, but you know, like that's
Keep yourself in your body.
I used to do that a lot. I would go to sleep. It would seem like I would lay down, close my eyes, and I would open my eyes, and I would literally go to the balcony where I was staying at, and I would jump and fly off somewhere and go somewhere. Sometimes I would meet up with my friends, like people I would be talking on the phone with. They'll be like, well, what did you see? I had a friend named Aisha I used to talk to a lot, and I left up out my body, and she ended up going to the same place. We went to the same house, same car. We saw the same people in the house. You know what I'm saying? I used to leave a lot. Now it's exhausting and I have kids. So I was like, Spirit, can I just make a choice to leave when I would like to? I think I was talking to somebody about this last night too, because they do a lot of work in the other realms. Yeah. And they're exhausted, and you could tell like in waking life they're a little bit scattered because they're tired. You know, their spirit is tired. So I was like, I want to go on a mission tonight. Okay. You can say you don't have a mission tonight. I feel like that's why reading is like really taxing on me, because I give like everything I have when I'm giving that message. I really want to make sure I'm getting it across. But yeah, I do leave. I walk up out my body straight up.
Yeah. Here. DJ said she was here. Like it was like we weren't even watching the screen. It was just like, you're here talking to us. I was like, because we just looked at each other after the reading. It was like, damn, that was deep. Like it felt like she was here. And I'm so glad we're having this conversation, because you were in our goddamn bedroom, like right over here.
I was trying to make sure what Spirit was trying to say. I wanted to make sure I was making a point. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna remember that. You're gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when Don was him and Spinja. I was sitting in my car at Walmart, and he knew exactly, like he saw me. Like, how did that go, Don?
You were in your car, and there's some security guards kind of giving you the side eye and wandering around your car, and I kind of felt you, and then I was like, okay, I got to see this. And I just closed my eyes for a second, and I was like, you drive a blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah trim, right? You're sitting right by this. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I just saw you. And then Spinge is like, yeah, I'm over top of her in the parking lot. Like we both remote viewed her, or whatever you want to call it, in a second, because we felt her panic and just jumped in on her. Like, we got you, girl. Like, we're coming. We might be in Canada, but we're coming.
Yeah, the cops were swarming around me. I'm like, oh my God, there's too many cops here. I'm starting to have a panic attack.
Your mic's up.
You're mic'd. You're muted. What was that, sis?
Remote viewing is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I feel like that's one of the first things that I did, but I didn't really try to hone those skills, because I didn't really see a difference between being like that and being clairvoyant, except for like remote viewing is in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I I think I cut myself off from it a little bit. I was in a Facebook group because there was a lot of girls that were going through like their awakening thing. This was like around September 13th, 2017. I remember because there was an eclipse and a hurricane and all this stuff happened. I chopped all my hair off. Like it was crazy. And this girl was talking to this guy, and she really liked him, and she heard his phone ring. Like Spirit let her hear the phone ring, and then she could see in one of her eyes his screen, who was calling him, the number, the text messages, she could see it in one eye. You know what I'm saying? And she was crying because she found out he was cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? She really liked him. She was boohoo in tears. She's like, I hate my gift. I hate my gift.
Oh,
You know what
oh.
I'm like? No, you're
No.
amazing. Don't hate your gifts. You know what I'm saying? And I remember after I read that story that she had posted in the group, I stopped trying to like look. You know what I'm saying? But I will leave in a second. If I
Yeah.
really like you, I'll leave. I'll leave in a second. I'll be on the front porch messing with the lights. You'll be like,
Well,
"Is that you over there?" Yep, it's me.
I had it happen to me 3 times, and actually, the first time it happened to me, um, I was like dating a guy that I didn't want to date. Well, I did want to date him, but I was like I didn't, because I was like there's like an age gap. I think I was like 25, he was like 21. I was like he's too young. But I remember like when he saw me when he was like 18 or whatever, and he was trying to hit on me when I was married. My husband was like, "Hey, that's my wife," and then the next time I seen him, I had left my husband, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Hey, you're only 18. Come talk to me when you're 21." And then I seen him when he was 21. I'm like, "Oh shit." He called me when he was 21. He was like, "I need a ride and a place to
Oh,
stay." I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, fool." That's not what I meant. But I picked
Uh,
him up, came to live with me. And I was like, this little Puerto Rican dude, the first and last time. And the funny thing about it was, I went to sleep because like he wasn't home. He was always out. I don't know where the hell he was. And my friends lived all around me. We always partied and shit. And I remember going to sleep, and it was like I left my body. Like I literally left my house, went over to her house, opened the door, saw everybody inside the house partying without me while I'm sleeping.
Mhm.
And I walked into the room, and he was there in the room with her, and I saw them on the bed. And I was like, "Oh my God." And then like I woke up to the phone to I woke up, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
yeah. There you
And then
go.
I get up, he wasn't there. I get up, I literally left my house. I walked over there, and just like in the dream,
Oh,
everything happened. I opened the door. Everybody was in the house partying. He heard me come in. I went straight to the room. And when I kicked open that door, he jumped out of the bed and flew on the floor like a wet fish. Like, "Oh, I was laying on the floor." I'm like, "Yeah, with your boxes on." I'm
uh,
like, "Why aren't you home? Why are you here in my friend's bed?"
Spirit, spirit loves to tell on cheaters. Okay, spirit loves to tell
That was the
on.
first time I caught him. I caught him twice like that.
oh shit.
Come to us, give us dreams, give us visions when people be cheating. This how I know it's wrong. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't care if you say you married, or that's just my girlfriend, or that's just my boo thing, or whatever. If it's supposed to be just me and you, it's supposed to be just me and you, because spirit is gonna snitch every
yeah.
single time. When I was living in the hotel, I was in like a really just toxic relationship. It was bad, and when my gifts started to like become me, he started staying away from the hotel a lot longer, like for longer periods of time, right? So
Yeah.
I had a, I literally looked up, and I could see it was like 1080p. Like I was watching TV. I looked up and I saw a woman. I saw him in a room with this woman. He didn't have a shirt on. And I saw he had $60 and he put them on the table in the room where they were at. Right. So I'm like, I said, is this really happening? I was like, Spirit, is this what my significant other is seriously doing? Right. He comes to visit. And I said, why would you give that pretty girl $60? You should have gave her way more than that.
Oh shit.
He did not come back for 6 months. I scared
Yeah.
him so bad. Okay. We're not together, obviously. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're not together no more. But
I
Is this
used
Spirit
to.
loves
baby
to tell.
daddy?
Yeah.
Is this baby daddy?
This is my daughter's father. My daughter that's nonverbal. Man,
Oh,
that was
I
the
used
most.
to,
That's what triggered me into my awakening is going through that and seeing all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what really triggered my awakening because I was like, dang. I said, in my body, in my mind, I knew all of this. I was having dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I knew, but I didn't really understand at the time what I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't want to say I didn't understand. I didn't want to, you know, but that they set it off for me. Then I started seeing everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we tend to be connected to what we need to know to understand certain things.
yeah. I,
Choose to separate ourselves from it or put a perforated line between that and us because we want one thing. So I wanted it to work. So instead of paying attention to how I felt, I just focused on I want it to work. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
relationships can be like water, like literally trying to hold water in your hands. People are
Yeah.
supposed to flow in and out to serve their purpose, and you're supposed to do the same thing too. Like we're not supposed to cling to people. Nobody, At
I
least that's
dated I dated an exotic dancer for about a year and a half, and she could not figure out how I caught her every time she was the least bit shady. She's like, how, what? No, I did. I'm like, I know the guy. She's like, no, you don't. And then I'd end up seeing him at the bar because we both worked in bars at the time. And I was like, yeah, that's the guy. She's like, what? No, hey, do you know my girlfriend? Oh,
because she was in denial about where she was going. And
yeah,
we come into contact with people that lie and go, no, you don't know what you're talking about. We come into contact with those people because we're supposed to tip them off,
yeah,
right? Whenever you have a certain energy, right, you're going to have certain friends, your finances are going to look a certain way, you're going to have certain kinds of relationships, you know what I'm saying? And when you
yeah,
start making changes, those things shift. You know what I mean? So you were like the wake up call. You get what I'm saying? Even though you weren't necessarily like in your prime or, whatever it is that they would call it spiritually, which I don't feel like there is a prime spiritually. I just
yeah,
feel like you elevate and elevate and elevate and elevate until you come up out your body. And that's
yeah.
it. And just don't come back. You know what I mean? Have y'all ever seen the movie Powder? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah. That
He,
movie is dope. Yeah,
I love that movie.
he was so powerful, you know,
yeah.
became in essence, you know what I'm saying? Because he just could not be in a body anymore. And we
Well,
didn't know what to do with him. You know what I'm saying? So he was
that
the
movie
sake.
makes so much sense. That movie makes so much sense because we're energy, right?
Mm-hmm,
So when you pop off, it might look like that. Like,
mm-hmm.
okay, I'm out.
I love that
Well,
movie. Amazing.
when Yeshua, Mother Mary said that before she left the tomb, Yeshua had already ascended. He had already disintegrated into the cloth. And so they knew he was already gone. And so they left. They walked out of there. They didn't say anything. They walked out of there. They locked it up. And then in the morning, they already knew he wasn't in there. And so when they opened the rock and they were like, oh my God, he's gone. They were like, yeah,
Yeah, we been gone. He been spread
they
about.
didn't tell
I don't even
nobody.
something
He
like
did
that.
appear
Oh,
to them. And he was like, don't touch me yet. I'm in between. Like, you can touch
Yeah,
me, but you can't touch me.
mhm.
He's like, let me touch you. Don't worry about touching me.
yeah,
in in hoodoo, it's a belief depending on where you are in the South or in the different states that Yeshua was like the most powerful magician because he had the most powerful source, right? So they wear different colors to like represent him, like white for purity and black for like, when he was laid away for a certain period of time and came back, you know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah,
so like when we lay hands or read scriptures and things like that, we're asking him to manifest through us with that Christ consciousness to be able to heal and like help people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's seen in hoodoo. I was getting a reading from a guy named Uncle Chris, right? It's funny. And he's much, much older than me. He considers himself to be like a witch, but that term is kind of like here nor there when you start mixing in like hoodoo traditions and stuff like that. I guess it's just a way to explain like what people are capable of doing. But I told him about my grandmother is like a devout Christian minister, you know what I'm saying? And I started telling him about it. He goes, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, she don't seem like much of a church going woman to me. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes to church all the time. However, if you walk through her house, which I've walked through her house many a times because I'm her granddaughter, she has the Hamza and like other things in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, where did you get this from? Oh, my friend. I'd be like, what is this for? And she's like, oh, I have a friend that's Jewish. And you know what I'm saying? Like she has little bits and pieces of other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like her relationship with Christ is a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking? Hands on. Like that gnosis. Some people they'll have a relationship with Yeshua like just by scripture, and then you have people that have that relationship with Yeshua by gnosis, like that personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? I seen him one time, okay? One time. And I left wherever I was. I think I was still in a hotel room, but I saw him walking through the desert.
Oh shit.
And it was like dry, and I could see that he was wearing like some clothes that were like tattered and stuff like that. I could see that his hair was like matted, like he had literally been walking through the desert. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I was like, is this where you get tempted? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking that in my mind, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm always present, okay? And I'm always here. Okay? No matter how many voices you hear, I'm always present and I'm always here. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, bet. I was like, hey, bet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep this Bible up here. I'm gonna keep this Bible up here, and I'm gonna always call on him, whatever name he goes by, whatever name I'm moved to use at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because we all I guess during that time there was no J. There literally was no J in the alphabet. You know what I'm saying? In the alphabet that we time. So this is why his original name was Yeshua, and not what people would say Jesus or Jesus Christ now. So
yeah.
I'm smacking on right now. Excuse me.
Maya, your mic's off.
Actually, from what I was told, is that his name sounds like Joshua, but with the Y-E, so it's Yeshua. When his mom says his name, when Mother Mary says his name, she calls him Yeshua, like, and it almost sounds like Joshua. Yeshua. And me and my husband argue about it all the time. And he's got the spirit of Jesus in him. And he's like always just like, it's so funny because he's Jewish, okay? His name is Daniel. He's Jewish. His family trace their roots back to the tribe of Levi. He's a Rastafarian. He left home at like 16 to travel the world. He went to China and India and, Israel. And, he walked by himself in these places, just like Yeshua did when he left home and he traveled the world, And when he told me he did this, I said, of course you did that. Naturally. Because in this life, you pick up where you left off. And so you had to go back to those places to activate yourself. He went on a holy spiritual mission, didn't even know. And the thing is, like, we do these things and don't even know, right? And so I always argue with him. I'm like, yo, his name was Yeshua. And he was like, no, it wasn't. Today he came to me and said, you know what? I have to say you were right. And I was like, what? I was right about what? And he was like, his name. And I was like, what you mean? And he was like, his name was Yeshua, but it was pronounced Yeshua or something, however he says it. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, it was like Joshua, but it's with Yeshua, however, Yeshua, something like that. But if you or haven't you, Kendra?
One time, I think
Have-
in like wedding photos.
oh yeah, but he
Which
looks
way it was
just
very
he looks like him. I'm telling you, and it's so funny because all his music that he sings is very holy, and
Mm.
it's amazing when we step into our power and we step into like, you know, I think for me it was important to know like this guy existed. I was like, did he exist? Like when I was 15 and I went into my spiritual gifts and I was like, if he was real, I want to imagine being there watching him on the cross. How would I feel? Like that's what I said to myself. This is how I'm gonna find out. And girl, I started crying. I started crying and crying. I was in church and I started crying. I was like, uh-oh. And then I had all these things just start happening. So yeah, I think his name is a very powerful, actually, um, actually his name is the most powerful that I know in my healing sessions. You call in and you call him in, and he like it's over. Like the alien, the bad guys, they run. Like they don't play. Um, he is like one powerful name. Get Lord Ganesh. I like to call upon him too. He comes in and he gets hungry. He starts eating shit. I'm like, what? He's like, I was an implant. Let me just keep on eating.
I like the story of Ganesh. I started connecting with that until I want to say when I got more into like the healing and stuff like that, more into the energy healing over a period of time and like doing other things or like dealing with people that had deeper issues, maybe like emotional issues and stuff like that. But Ganesha can like remove a blockage, literally, or set one there so you can learn something. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
Also, I used to have like a little Ganesha statue that I would keep in the bathroom. It's one of the stories of his childhood. He would literally sit in the bathroom to like protect his mother or something like that. If you don't
Hmm.
want somebody to your bathroom or you don't want somebody to come into your room or in your house, you get a Ganesha statue and you face the statue towards the door, and they'll turn back around or their disposition will totally change. Same thing with like a Buddha statue. Buddha statue. Buddha
Yeah.
statue.
Well, I figured we keep on going past because the first little bit was a little
Yeah.
um choppy, and then I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel anyways, and I
What
can
you
come back and keep playing. Say what?
I said, what are you drinking now? Because I'm thirsty.
Sparkling water, lime.
I need to get my hands on some of that
I don't know if
ASAP.
you can see it.
I
It's called Spindrift. It's my husband likes this brand because there's only three ingredients: carbonated water, or two ingredients, sorry, carbonated water and lime juice. Where some stuff they have like all this extra stuff in the water. He's like, what the hell? I thought it was just
guy.
carbonated.
Like this isn't sparkling water. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
poison.
Mm-hmm.
I actually make my own ginger ale.
My brother does that. When I was
Yeah.
staying with him, he would make sparkling ginger ale. He would make his own like Pepsi and stuff like that. He would carbonate the water. And sometimes he would just keep the water carbonated in the fridge so he could just drink that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was told it's good to drink. Yeah. I think it was by Archangel Gabriel told me that.
Also, I like the ones with probiotics in it. You know what I'm talking about? They're like
The
Yeah.
sparkling
extra stuff.
probiotics. Yeah, like so, to help with gut health and stuff like that. Kind of a kombucha that's not nasty, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That can be really addicting in itself. Kombucha can be super addicting. If that's not your thing, kimchi. Kimchi is fine. Fermented cabbage and stuff.
I do like kimchi.
I like to eat it with I like to eat kimchi with cucumbers and I like to eat cucumbers with spicy noodles and stuff like that. Like I was Korean in a past life because I eat like that. Okay. I really want to eat.
Drea,
Kimchi, ramen.
my partner is looking into taking up tarot. She actually bought herself a deck for Christmas,
Yeah.
and she just wanted to know, do you just kind of like lean into it and let intuition take you? Is it instinct?
Well, what happened was, this is the story of tarot with me. When I was like 16 or 17 years old, I had a friend named Ashley, and she gave me a deck, right? She just gave me one. It was called the Lovers Tarot, and it had like flowers. It wasn't like your regular deck, you know. And I could read it because I was gifted. I didn't understand that I was, but I could already read it. So it would say stuff I didn't want to read or see, so I'd get mad and set it down and be like, this doesn't make any sense. And I literally tried to throw it away. From the time that I was 17 to the time that I was 25 or 26, that deck followed me around. I have no idea how. I literally left. I was living in like Syracuse, New York. I came back down to Florida. The deck was like in my house. You know what I'm saying? Then I tried to throw it in the trash. I left. I ended up moving another like not good relationship, came back home. The deck was sprawled out in the bottom of my car, like where the gas and brake is. I
What?
still don't understand how. It scared me so bad. I think I ended up putting it in a box and taking the box to the dumpster across the street from my house because like it wouldn't go away. Now, and I was like devout Christian. I was going to church, so I felt like what I was doing anyways was like super demonic, and I needed to put it down because it was creating portals and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I lost everything and started going through a lot of stuff in my relationship, I said, I'm gonna go back to what I understand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna start picking these cards up. And the thing about living in a hotel room, I'm already mediumistic, but the thing about living in a hotel room is a lot of energy that move through there. A lot of people that lived there, stayed there, done different things. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of different frequencies happening at the same time. So it's a portal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So those spirits saw that I was seeking genuinely to like have an understanding of my life, to have an understanding of what was going on and, you know, all that other stuff. And I feel like that's where the gifts and everything just came to fruition. But my ancestors came to me and they was like, hey, tarot wasn't our thing, okay? You can still read the tarot, but we would like you to go to the store and get you some playing cards. So I went and got the playing cards and I just read those for like 30 days. Literally just read those for 30 days. And then like I was able to read. Like I would ask people if they wanted me to read them and they'd be like, okay, you're all right. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I would
Yeah.
really would try to read people and then like suddenly it just came upon me. Tarot is very old. This is what I'm gonna say. Those pictures that you're looking at, hold on a second. I don't even know if I brought the deck outside. Yes, I did. Those pictures that you're looking at, they're very old. Okay. They're not just pictures. All right. This is not just a picture. This is literally a what's the word that I'm looking for? It's a thought form. It's got life to it. Even if you don't necessarily believe in like spirits and stuff like that, these cards have their own energy. And what happens is if you keep pulling them and just reading them on a regular basis, that vibe becomes you because you're making yourself sensitive. Like you're showing the energies around you like I want to be able to see, so you're going to start being able to see more than a definition. Like you can see that this is the Ace of Cups. So this is like happiness, fulfillment, and stuff like that. This could also be somebody literally handing you a drink, endless tears. You know what I'm saying? Um, this could be a releasing of a bird at a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Or going somewhere where there's lots of water. Like you can see a lot of stuff inside of this card. But back in the day, I wouldn't have been able to see all of that. You know what I'm saying? So your relationship with that deck is going to continuously change. You don't want to focus on the definition. That's not what you want to focus on. You want to focus on how you feel when you look at those pictures and what triggers you. Because you can have one card and read 50 people with that same card.
Yeah. That was her major question.
And
Like,
also,
oh,
I like to sleep with my decks too. Sleep. I like to them in the bed up underneath my pillow and lay down with my cards. That helps me create a with them too. Because I want them to be able to talk. I want to breathe life into them,
Yeah, that's where she keeps hers.
In the bed, yeah, sleep with them.
Not under her
Because
head.
they're going to become your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
I just made like 5 decks.
You said you had 5 decks?
I just made 5 decks, and one of them is a cartomancy deck. It's a playing card deck. I did.
See, that's something that triggers me real good. Because I like seeing spades and stuff like that. I understand that better.
Yeah.
Cartomancy pretty simple too, because there's not like have to go off of how you feel with those cards. Have their own definitions too, but like if you see a lot of black, you'll notice that person is thinking really rationally and not necessarily using their intuition, not very emotional. If you see a lot of red, you'll notice that person is very emotional, probably a lot. If you do a couple reading and you see all red, that's really good. You know what I'm saying? It means that they really like care about each other. But if you see like 4 that are black and 4 that are red, it's kind of one-sided. You know what I'm saying? But your intuition will tell you who's more one-sided than the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just supposed to trigger you. That's what cards are supposed to do. That's what the pennies are supposed to do, and the clouds and the da-da-da. It's just supposed to trigger you so you can eventually like set them down. Because there's gonna come a time, if you love the tarot and you read it all the time, or you love Oracle and you read it all the time, I'm saying, because God want to talk to you directly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we've been going about an hour now. I would think we got some really good chit chat in here. You know me. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. My eyes don't ever get higher than like I don't know. You see that? It's like they done shut. It's so hard. 9 o'clock, so they're starting to get closer and closer. No, but it's been nice having you on and chatting with you. I feel like
here, I like it. I like talking about this stuff.
We could talk about this stuff forever. We can have a couple episodes out of this. But I think that everybody has an opportunity to wake up to their psychic abilities, and it's all about everyday practice and rituals and development and but I also believe people are just naturally gifted, like you are naturally gifted. I have my psychic abilities, but my psychic abilities aren't like your psychic abilities, and like I might just know things and I might feel it and I just might know it and hear it, but like I don't know, for me I feel like it's different. I feel like for everybody who's like trying to figure themselves out, like it's good to know that you can like work on your psychic abilities and your gifts, and there's also people that stop them, like right, like by the foods that they eat, or if they're just like not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. My psychic abilities opened up when I was drinking 5 Jack and Cokes a day. So I don't know.
I feel like what happens is you just get called, So like I was in a hotel room eating chicken nuggets and like drinking Arbor Mist or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like eating like spicy Cheetos and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I was just called. It was just time for me to start to wake up and start doing what I needed to do for my bloodline. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's going to be called in this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not going to be called. Some of us are just supposed to have a basic understanding so we can make good choices to get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, everybody's not necessarily called. And then when we are called, we're called to different things. Like, I don't feel like everybody's supposed to be doing what I'm doing. Everybody don't want to communicate with no spirits, child.
That's like me. Not everybody wants to go in there and save souls. I go into the shadows. I'm a light worker and a shadow worker. I go into the darks and I pull things out of the deeps of the pits of the darkness.
And that's what you was called to do. That's your superpower. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you were made to do that. That's why, just when you were holding your hands like this, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
That's what Gabriel resonates with me so much, is like Gabriel announces stuff and I'm a big mouth. Like if I know something and I figured something out about the way this universe works, I'm telling everybody. Because it's like, hey, guess what I can do? You want to know how to astral project? Check this shit out. Try this. Like,
work like that. Let me show you how to do it.
Yeah, I totally get that Gabriel is an aspect of me, or vice versa, or whatever it is, because it's like he announces shit and I can't shut up. So,
that's man. The other thing. When they take over, they do that to me they take over me all the time. Like, I'm like, who said that? How? Really? Like, they'll just like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, here we go again. They just look at me and I'm like, I don't know. Does that happen to you sometimes? Like, if they just take over and like speak through you?
Constantly. I feel like while we've been recording, I kind of been like, like somebody else want to come in and have a conversation, and I'm like, I'm not really that right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can't like that. But I kind of, they've been like, hey, you gonna let me talk, or hey, you gonna let me speak? So like,
yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time. I have to set boundaries with that because for my energy,
Well, it's funny because like we're trying to figure out the next step in our life and our finances and stuff, and I never get anything that's just like, hey, Dawn, pay attention. But if she'll ask me something, it's like somebody just slides on in and is like, oh, this is everything you need to know about this right now. I'm just going to tell you. And I'm like, this isn't even me, because I'm just hearing this shit for the first time too. So let's roll. And it's literally coming out of my mouth.
It's easier when it comes in a certain kind of way. Like, it might be hard for me to see certain things in my life. I feel like that's gotten way better for me. But it's easier like when you're triggered by something or it comes from somewhere else. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of information. And I make sure I write that down. I do a lot of automatic writing, but I do that more for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll hear words and they'll escape me and I'll forget them or whatever. So I write them down pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? But I do a lot of automatic writing. I'd actually like to get an automatic writing board. I don't know if y'all have seen those before, where you just kind of like scribble or like move your hand around. You don't necessarily have to write words, but it kind of allows energy to move in a certain kind of way while you're like,
the
scribbling.
boards like that Tyler uses, the celebrity Tyler. He like
scratch.
Yeah, I actually was told I should be doing automatic writing. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll start writing, and then
a lot more comes out. Forget words.
Right? Sorry.
I'm sorry, girl.
You froze your camera. Look at that beautiful face. Perfection.
We want pizza rolls. We want pizza rolls.
There you go.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. I heard my kids screaming, we want some pizza rolls.
Oh yeah.
200 and something pizza rolls. Half them things gone already.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Well, when it's good, it's good. I buy the
that stuff is not good for you.
I'm gonna start making my own stuff. I buy the wonton papers, and I need to like make everything myself. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I want to make some with some mushrooms on the inside, like chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like certain kinds of mushrooms, that you fry or whatever that tastes like chicken nuggets or whatever. Yeah, I will put like that in there. I'm trying to find ways to cook healthier because I like to eat food. Okay. And I'm not going to want to eat Hot Pockets for the rest of my life.
No, what was that, Don?
It won't show up on my camera, but it's the Prairie Homestead Cookbook. And it is just basic, simple home style cooking recipes. And it's
Prairie.
all for like homesteady, all natural ingredients. Joe Winger is the lady who wrote it, and it's a staple in our house. Like it teaches you how to make your own pizza pockets. It teaches you all of that stuff.
Oh,
Can you
nice.
see of that so I can like look it up or purchase it on Kindle or something like that?
Go.
Will do. Yeah, absolutely.
Every time I buy a book on Kindle, I never open it and read it.
You know what? You ain't lying. Some of them books, they've been sitting in there for a while. It'll take me a little while to get pages. But if I'm gonna make some food, food is gonna be my, encourager. I'm gonna be like, I want some hot pot that I made today. So I'm gonna try to read it because I want to eat. Because I like food.
Yeah, right. I know. I could totally make a hot pocket with wonton papers too.
Oh,
There's some ground beef, some cheese, little pepperoni. I use turkey pepperoni.
yeah.
And I found beef salami, and I found beef bacon.
Did you say beef bacon?
Yeah, right.
Yes. I was praying for it, and I went to my favorite store, and they had it there. I was like, yes.
Because I don't really want to eat pork like that. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to eat pork.
That or turkey, but turkey makes you tired. So the beef, it's like the protein.
It does make you sleepy. I like the lean chicken. I've been making spaghetti with ground chicken the last couple weeks. The kids have been okay. They're like,
love it.
So good. I'm like, yeah, they can eat way too much of it because it's lean. It's chicken. You know what I'm saying? The beef, I feel like it was a little bit heavier, like that had the fat in it or whatever. But the chicken, like they could run right through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, a little of that grease.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making me hungry. Well, you guys, I think this has been a good recording for the show. If you definitely want to let people know where to find you, of course, we can always continue talking. But for the recording, for the listeners, if you want to let them know where you're at, I forgot we're still doing radio. But
Ellis Intuitive. Type Google me, okay, and everything that I do will pop up there. I have a booking. I do energy
Intuitive. You said
Ellis Intuitive Healing. Look that up. You'll be able to find my business page on Facebook and stuff like that. I have like, they say it's a business page, but I still connect and like talk to people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like weird and stuffy. And you can message me and ask me questions if you need some help or if you're interested in some healing. I can answer some general questions for you. Or if I don't provide something that you need, I have a network of folks, including Maya, that can help you with what it is that you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Facebook is really I've been on there for so long, but Instagram, I have an Ellis Intuitive Healing page on Instagram. I do readings there, and where else? And my booking, of course. I do readings there, but I do more intuitive by phone sessions where I can talk to you,
Right. Yes, and I definitely suggest people to do it because I definitely support you and back you up, endorse you, however they say. Testimonial right here, true story. I will continue to come to you, and not abuse my
Thank you. Anytime. Hit me up. If I'm available, I'll do it.
Thank you for being on the show. I'm definitely gonna play this longer, on my show. Even if it goes over an hour, we'll still keep on bringing it back or whatever. So thank you for joining me. I have been waiting to have you on the show anyways. I just I'm a little slow eating. I was eating turkey for a while, so
completely understandable. I said you're not the person that said that.
Been
You were I was
crazy.
posting that a while ago. I was like, okay, get on your Zoom. You actually got me on the Zoom. Hey, mama. And then
Yeah.
my window, she's like, what are you doing?
Okay. She's like, come on, mama. But thank you, Dawn, for setting everything up. You were amazing for reaching out to her and making sure everything. I was taking a nap, and so as you can see, my eyes are still wanting to shut.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, sis. We'll have you back on again as well. And so for those people who are listening, this has been the Mad Chatter Show. We are on wvew.org, and Friday nights from 10 to midnight is my slot. So for those who are listening online, thank you. Appreciate you guys wherever you may be. And soon we'll have a network where you guys can connect with us. I think by the time this airs, it should be up. Maybe I can get that into the works, and we can have people can come on and be like, "Oh my God, I heard you on the show." So yeah, we'll work on that. But love you, sis. It's always great talking to you and hanging out with you. Thank you, Dawn. You guys in Spinja. Love you guys back there. Thank you. And so this is 107.7 FM, the Mad Chatter Show. And I'm DJ Maya, and I got DJ Pooh, and we just had the beautiful Kendra Ellis from ellisintuitivehealing.com. You said they can find your website? Yes. So check her.
Yes.
You will not be disappointed. And so thank you, everybody.